Ooh-wee, y'all, it is DB Bray, the writer, coming from you live. Yeah, this section is brought to you by Mobilo, and we are the business card company that sponsors the show. And we will be basically having another cartographer on today. And the cartographer I'm bringing on is from Turkey, and they are extremely well versed in the methodology of cartography. We had a huge one with Haim Holtier, and we got almost 100 views on that. So what we're trying to do is just give exposure to different styles of cartography out there. If you need a map and whatnot, oh, there's Haim right there. And so basically, what we're going to do is we're just going to get ready maps from Turkey is coming on, and they will be here momentarily. So once again, this is brought to you by Mobilo Business Card, and they are your one-stop shop for your tap and go needs, which means you have a business card and it is in your wallet, and all you do is tap somebody's phone and all your information uploads into the phone of the person, so you don't have to hand them anything at all, which is awesome. So get ready, here we go with Ready Maps. Ooh! Okay, 1 second here. Let's see if we get more time. Appreciate y'all showing up. We're going to get started here in just a minute. I'm hoping that this works. This is their first time on Instagram Live, so we might have to just try to work something out. Might log off and log back in. Come on. This damn cricket phone I got just doesn't work out sometimes. It's alright. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I know I am. It is a great day here in the 7-5. We got all kinds of good weather. I'm in the car so I can chronically smoke while I'm not chronic, but have my cigarettes, because those are a necessity in my life. But it's a nasty habit, and y'all shouldn't do it. So, oh, hold up. Here we go. Hold up. There we go. Okay, so nope, that didn't work again. Okay. Let me log right off, and we'll log back in, and hope to see y'all. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if it's connected. There it is.
Hi, how are you?
There you are. I know, we coming from Turkey live. Oh,
Yes,
church tabernacle. We have the Turks. You are the first person that has come on the show from Turkey.
it's good to hear that. It's good
Now,
to be the first.
can you please pronounce your name for me? Because I cannot pronounce that.
Okay, I know it's even actually a hard name to pronounce, even for Turkish people,
Okay.
and because its origin is actually Arabic. It is called Mürşit.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to butcher it. Mushkit.
Yeah, you are actually quite close.
Hey! It's the first time on the Chronicles DB Bray got a Turkish name right.
Yeah,
Woof!
quite
Yeah!
quite nice. Yeah,
Excellent.
Mürşit.
All right.
Yeah,
So, what time is it there in Turkey right now?
it is 11 p.m.
I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. It is late in Turkey. It is about 4 o'clock here in the States. And you are a cartographer, are you not?
Sort of, yes. I not professionally, but I love drawing fantasy maps,
Right?
and I actually started drawing that for my own world, but now I kinda developed myself and uh, drew, and now I just can't stop drawing anymore.
I can hear you. I can't stop writing anymore, so I get it.
Yeah,
So you have a lot of samples to go through, which is great. Try to get some exposure for
yeah,
you.
yeah,
And
they're ready.
so they're ready. And are you able to flip the camera around just to show us what you're looking at?
Yes, I think I can.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm now using my television because I draw digitally, so
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it would be nice to show it on a big screen.
Excellent. Yeah,
Uh,
please do.
yes, and here's the first one. And let
Okay.
me get a little closer. And also, I can give you a little information about the maps, like the
Okay, great.
process of uh, doing these individual maps, because some of them have some special meanings for me.
Oh,
For example, this is actually the first large-scale map. I mean, when I say large, not like continent large, but the first time I draw was actually quite bad, and then and actually that time was like an experience for me to learn
okay.
how to use the software and okay, I pressed that and okay, that happens. And then after learning with the first map, this is actually the first map I drew,
Okay.
except for the first learning process.
All right.
And here there's actually three kingdoms.
Oh,
Like
wow.
uh, actually, I may get a little closer. Let me
Okay.
get
Yeah,
a
please
little
do.
closer. Yeah. And for example, you can see
Oh,
that
wow.
these
Yeah.
symbols
Love it.
have different colors
Yeah.
because they are owned by different kingdoms,
Okay.
and totally one island, three kingdom, let's say.
Okay.
And I actually love this map. I may even use it in my book.
Okay. So you're a writer as
And
well.
yeah, I actually started to build my world a
Okay.
few years ago, but I have still a lot of thing to do.
Yeah,
Like
sure,
there
sure.
is a long process because I'm alone. Like I don't get any help.
Right.
Like I don't have any partners. I just do all the things myself. And this one is
Right.
actually a different style map because this is quite a regional map, and this is actually a map of uh, a valley which is ruled by the orcs.
Oh,
So yeah, and I call this place the Valley of the Orcs, and this is like I'm like imagining if this was real,
hmm.
and I could call this place the only peaceful place for the orcs to live because
Good.
you know they are not liked and loved creatures.
Tell me about it.
And like you know like and this valley is like there's only two gates to
Mhm.
enter the valley which
Sure.
are hardly protected, and around the and this valley is actually quite protected also by the mountain ranges which you can see,
Hmm.
and also there are some different. Let me get a closer look. Okay,
Yeah.
for example,
Oh,
this one is
wow.
different, and you see that one is different.
Yeah.
And let me show you another one right there. And for example, you see that one is different because these are actually different tribes, like in one valley, but different tribes of orcs.
Okay.
So this is the story behind it, and I quite like this map.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Ushi, that is beautiful.
Thank you very much. And this one, uh, by the way, let me tell you something. When I'm drawing maps, uh, I just, I don't just randomly draw because uh, first I think of a story. Like, uh, for example, am I going to draw some place hosting a bad and good fight, like fight between bad and good, or am I going to draw a place which is like just full of peace, you know? So
Right.
first a little bit of story,
Hmm.
then starting to draw, and then it gets mixed. So
Oh,
sometimes sometimes I go like randomly at some little bit of surprises and like, oh, why not at this and why not at that, and
right.
sometimes not. And in here, I wanted to draw something like some place which was collapsed, like cursed, let's say.
Yeah.
And let me show you the cursed area.
Oh
You
wow.
see there?
Look at
So
that.
that is the cursed area, and that you see that little castle over there?
Mm-hmm.
That is the source of the curse. Whoever is the one responsible for the curse is staying there, and
Okay.
that is, you see there?
Yeah.
In my mind, I was actually thinking like uh, there was a big fight
Yeah.
in this gate,
Yeah.
like this natural gate, so the mountain collapsed.
Okay.
That is why it is shaped like that. I was like just dreaming of it. Anyway, so this mountain range here
Yeah.
separates the bad region and the good region,
Okay.
and this gate here separates the cursed region and the bandit region.
Okay.
So these, and here, like, you see the huts,
Yeah.
like that, and that one is actually, you see like the cracks over there. And by the way, these assets are drawn by, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Kaora or something like that, and he draws really nice.
Yeah.
And I used his assets, and so a bandit region, a cursed region, and a beautiful, peaceful region owned by Chamoyuk. And here it says the lands of Chamoyuk.
Okay.
And this is actually the map that I fully colored for the first time.
Sure.
I normally don't color the waters. Like I generally, and I actually normally don't like coloring the maps, but the color makes it pop so
Hmm.
much, and I just feel like I have to do it sometimes,
Right.
like when I love the map, I'm like, yo, I should make a colored version of this.
Yeah.
And here we have my baby. This is actually the remastered version of my first map.
Wow.
And this is actually such a huge map. Let me show you something. Okay. So this is actually the size of it.
Mm. Wow.
So my
11,000
process,
pixels.
yeah, so my processor is like, I think, doesn't think good things about me, like
Hey.
so when I open this up, like it takes so much time for
Hmm.
my laptop's processor to fully process it, and you may actually see it like coming region by region. Look, like
Oh wow.
it may take a few seconds.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
by the
Well,
way,
insane.
this was a gaming laptop a few years ago, like
That's insane. So basically, basically, your mind creates these fantasy worlds. This is the writer in me asking, and basically, what your computer is saying with, you have an awesome book and you have an awesome map, and I just don't feel like working today. Is that is that basically what happened, Mushi?
yeah, probably. And I think it's I think that would be a kind way to say it. I think
Right.
it goes in a worse way. Like, okay, I think it will take more time. Okay, let me just go a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and I normally, this is a preference, but I normally doesn't like the culture of pirates. Like
Sure.
I
Sure.
like pirates, and I know that they are they were exist, and they actually took a big place in the history. But when something goes only like pirates, pirates and pirates, I don't like that.
Right.
So normally in the original version, in here you can see a pirate bay,
Wow.
and as you
Wow.
can see, this is actually in a place where it can just normally this side of the island is quite hard to place settlements and live there because like there's no good resources like water, woods, and animals to hunt, etc. And there is actually even a dangerous territory here.
Okay.
But because they are pirates, they live on this side, and when the ships come from the mainland this way and that way, they cut the roads. So because the mainland is here,
Mm-hmm.
they are actually in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So, but because that side, and also because that side is, how to say, okay, let me give you a little bit of info about how I want to build my world. In my world, I'm planning to create seas as like the most dangerous territories
Mm-hmm.
because you can fight what you see
Mm-hmm.
and what you can hit, but you cannot fight something which is in the water. Like it will be so much harder. So uh, when you go when you want to go somewhere using ships, you have to follow the coastlines. So that is why people cannot also attack these pirates directly coming from here. They must use some discovered safe regions of the sea. So this is actually the only ways to come to the island. And the pirates are taking risk here, but I think it must be worth it.
Wow, Mushi, you have so much talent. That is awesome. So you start black and white and then you move into color?
Um, Let me show you the answer of that question here. And this is actually how I originally draw. Like, and I call this the classic version.
Okay.
And like no colors, just like colorless, sketchy
Mm-hmm.
symbols, as you can
Right.
see. And for example, like close-ups of a town, let's say.
Right.
And this is the first version, and this is what happens when you color it.
Wow.
So just like I told you, I'm not good at coloring. It takes so much time for me because I'm not an artist. Like I'm not grown to be an artist. I study psychology, by the way, and
That seems to
like
be a common thread of employment on the Chronicles.
I don't know. And so I'm not like from my childhood I'm like drawing and studying. No, it's not like that. I just take this as a hobby.
Right, sure.
So this is my normal drawings, the classic versions, and this is how I normally draw. So this is the answer of that question. And this is why, even though I don't like coloring, I color things because it, just pops the map up so beautifully.
Right, right, absolutely. So yeah, flip the screen back to me, Mushit. I got a lot of questions for you.
Okay, that's
All right, man. That's
yeah, let's go.
insane. That's insane. So you taught yourself how to do
Thank you very
that?
much.
Yeah. Did you teach
Sorry?
yourself how to do that? Did you teach yourself how to do that?
Uh, if I say yes, it will be a lie because even though I learned, even though I um, learned the software
Yeah.
almost by myself because uh, trying to figure out how to use it. I can't say I learned everything by myself because there are many things and informations that I use to create something like this, which are coming from many other let's say, majors or
Mm,
something like that. For
sure.
example, even my teacher, my geography teacher in high school,
Mm-hmm.
has a piece in this success, because
Okay.
uh, you have to follow some rules. Like
Right.
you have to break some rules
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Like you cannot just go all rules and rules and rules. You have to break some rules to make your map fantastic, not just totally realistic.
Right.
But you also have to follow the rules to make your map believable.
Sure.
So, and that is why the answer is, of course, no. And I also follow some other cartographers to see how they think of like how to understand their perspective of drawing
Mm-hmm.
maps,
Right.
because everyone has a different perspective. Like because I'm a world builder, uh, I look at maps in a perspective that I follow the rules of my world. Just like I told you, the sea and the following the coastlines, because when you do not do that, when you just want to go directly, God bless you, like you're fucked up. Sorry to say that, but there's no way you can just directly go somewhere. Like that's not possible in my world. So
I love it. I
this
love
is
it.
my
I love it.
perspective.
So, Musha, does it, you probably haven't seen the show before, but I
Yeah.
do something called the 11 rapid fire ooh-wee questions that people tune in for. So we have to do those. So
Okay.
basically what this is me
Yeah,
asking
for
you a
sure.
question off the top of my head, and then you answer off the top of your head, and they're kind of crazy. They're fun because we're writers and you're a cartographer, and you've got an
Mhm.
imagination. So I'll start with something real easy for you. What is your favorite flower?
Okay. Uh, you said it was easy, but I actually don't have a favorite flower. Like I don't think like I should pick a favorite flower, like
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Okay, if you were going on a date, what type of flower would you bring?
it depends on the relationship, because
Okay.
the flowers have special meanings if
Yes.
you know the details. Like a rose means something else means something else. The colors of the flowers means something different. So it depends on the situation.
All right. See, you answered the question. How do you like that? All right, we're getting there. We're getting there, Mushi. All
Yeah,
right.
it's gonna be hard for you, by the way. Like,
I get it.
I'm not,
The
like
What is your favorite food?
my favorite food. Okay, give me a few seconds. Um, my favorite food in winter or in summer, let's say.
All right, so let's go with summer.
Okay, let's go with summer. My favorite food in summer. Mm, actually, in here we have something like a cultural thing, and watermelon, right? So
Yes.
it's normally a fruit, but in breakfasts and in summer, we eat watermelon with bread and cheese, and we consider that as a like if you have those three of them together, that's a meal for you in the breakfast.
Okay.
So I think I would pick that, even though it's a fruit.
Yeah, that
Like
works.
I love it.
Okay, so it's watermelon, bread, and cheese as
Yeah,
the
together.
okay. So let's ask a good question for international people. Is that Turkish coffee or tea as your go-to drink?
Oh, cool question. Loved it. Um, I told you it's gonna be hard for you,
They get
not for
harder.
me.
They get harder,
Be-
Mushit. They get harder.
Because there are different types of Turkish coffee actually,
Okay.
which are like sort of historical, but there is one classic Turkish coffee that everyone knows. So if you mean that classic one,
Mm-hmm.
I would go with the tea because I don't like that classic one. But if you let me twist the question, I would go
Yeah.
with the coffee because there is one coffee that I love.
Okay, what coffee is that?
It's called the Ottoman coffee, actually.
The Ottoman coffee from the Ottoman Empire. Yes. Yes.
Yes, I love
Yes.
that one. But the
Okay.
flavor
So
of it is amazing.
it is not available in the States, that Ottoman coffee, but I will definitely someday drink that. So is that a very dark, rich coffee, or is that more of a softer coffee for breakfast?
Soft. It's a softer coffee, and because it has some like different aromas of
Right.
like some flowers and some fruits or something.
So let's ask the next question. It is a famous question among the Ooowee
Okay.
Chronicles. Okay. If you were climbing Mount Everest,
Okay.
where there are man-eating goats, I am familiar with these man-eating goats. Okay, they're on Everest. I'm not sure, but on the Chronicles there are man-eating goats on Everest. You could
Okay.
pick one person to go to the top of Everest with to fight the man-eating goats with you, Mushit. Who would you bring in your personal life on this venture?
So I need to pick a person I know, right?
A person you know. We won't know them, but this is for you and you to have fun with your friends about why you would take them with you.
Okay, it will be a person called Kürşat. He is
Okay?
a close friend of mine, and the reason I would pick him because he is such a handyman.
Okay?
Like, and he is not like, oh, this is cold, I'm not gonna do it. He is a tough guy
Yeah.
and also a kind guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good mix of that, and he is also quite handy. Like, if he needs something done, he does it. And we are actually camping with him together. So uh,
Okay. You you
I
you
would pick
take
him.
you take Kushit with you wherever you go.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
yeah. And Kushit's favorite drink would be Ottoman coffee or espresso.
No, it would be probably espresso because he loves hard coffees.
There you go. See, you know your friend, you know what he wants. So you go to the top of Everest with Kushit. I get it. I get it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
All right. Now
Thank you
this
very
is
much.
a states question, but hopefully you've heard of these characters. You have a burning building in front of you, Mashit. And in front of
Okay.
you on this burning building at the top is Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. Who would you
Okay.
rescue if you were going to go into this burning building? Which one would you rescue?
Um, not to be rude, but I wouldn't give a fuck, like I mean, like, uh, instead of like trying to be a hero, you know,
I'd go get
I
my
would use my
Ottoman coffee.
logic, like if I'm gonna make it or not, like those guys mean nothing to me, like they're not my mother or something, like so like okay, I think I'm not gonna do that,
I had to go with the answer is I wouldn't give a fuck, and that is a classic on the Ooowee Chronicles. That is Mushi
Really?
from Turkey with that answer, with the go-to. I get it. I get it. I love it. I love it. This is why I love my international people. So,
Thank you.
um, you did a great job on the rapid fire questions, Mushi. That was great. So what would be the place where everybody could contact you to buy your maps, or to get, questions if they're newer than you are about the digital software you use? Where would they
Mhm,
find you?
mhm.
Websites, or would it be like on Instagram?
Okay, so good question. Thank you very much for asking
Yep.
that. Um, it is probably now the best place to ask me questions is Instagram,
Yep.
or they can just mail me.
Yep.
But buying my maps is something I do on print on demand at the moment.
Okay.
So I don't take commissions at the moment because not because I don't want to, because I don't have time to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to wait or like uh, to have some expectations that I cannot fulfill.
Sure.
So that is why I don't take commissions at the moment. I'm planning to if I will have some times, but
Sure.
now I just go with print on demand, and if they follow the link in my bio,
Yep.
and they will go to a site which is called Redbubble,
Mm-hmm.
and they are now like doing all the process of like printing and shipping and all the customer services. So I just am in a position where I design the maps, and it would be actually quite useful for many of other designers and also cartographers to use that service also, because it is really easy to use. Like, for example, if I would draw by my hand, I would have to ship it by myself. Like I would have to do everything by myself. But because I draw digitally, this is a plus, and this is um, kind of a must. Not totally, but kind of. You know the things. You're also a designer,
Yeah.
and so that's what. Because I draw digitally, I use that site, and they can just go and check it out. I think they will like it. Even though at the moment I don't have many maps available, I just
Mhm.
have a couple of maps, like maybe 9.
Yep.
I will be adding more and more.
Sure, sure, absolutely, and that's why we're showing exposure to
Hmm.
cartographers around the world on these segments,
Yeah, thank
and
you very much.
no problem. And it puts cartographers in touch with each other, and they're able to
Hmm.
kind of get together and maybe brainstorm and do some kind of really interesting
Yeah,
thing. And you bring a new side to it for us here on the Chronicles in the digital world. Most of my cartographers that I know are hand drawn, which is amazing. But
hmm,
the
yeah,
digital
I
thing,
agree.
I tried to check out how to do that on a website, and it didn't work out. It was a disaster. It took me an hour to try to form a tree. And I said, you know what? I think I'm just going to stick to writing and purchase my maps for my book because it's just not
Then,
worth.
in this case, I suggest you use a software which I use called WonderDraft. And I don't know if you have heard it before, but that actually saves you a lot of time, because you don't have to draw the tree if you use that software.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I'm,
See,
s-
I'm
I'm
so far
s-
behind the eight ball, Mushit, that I'm just sitting here going, yeah,
No,
I
I'm like,
wonder how.
you really should try it. Like, if you just follow some basic rules, and also if you just break them sometimes with just the right amount,
Yeah,
and I think I think it will be quite uh, beautiful. Like you can I don't think you can do a bad map with WonderDraft. I really love it that much because it makes many things so easy. You just have to how to say, you just have to plan it well, let's say.
yeah,
You just have to
okay.
plan the map well. So I suggest you check it out.
I will. And that's Wonder Map, you said?
WonderDraft.
Wonder Draft. Okay. And is
Yeah,
that like a website or an app or what is that?
that's the software.
Okay.
And the hardest thing is learning how to use the software. And other than that, in each map, you can see the development of your cartography skills.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you write fantasy or do you write about Turkish coffee? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing on our writing? What's your book about?
Oh, that's thank you for asking it. And I was actually both excited and afraid of hearing this question, because like
It's the
I'm serious.
Chronicles,
Like,
you know?
yeah, good job, good job. Because about okay, first it's a fantasy, but there is something called soft and hard magic systems in
Okay.
fantasies.
Yeah, sure,
But
sure. I use
and
soft.
imagine, yeah, imagine that my world is so hard that not only magic is in hard system, but almost everything is, at least this is what I'm trying to do, consistent
Sure.
and realistic. And that is why I just study medieval history and all the weapons, armors, their capabilities, like and I even took a few days to learn the base salaries of people in medieval age because uh, let I'm just let me tell
That's
you one thing.
beautiful. I
The
didn't even think of that. Who can afford what? That's a thing
Yeah,
right there, buddy.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Like, and also, let me ask you a question, and let me ask this
Sure.
question to everyone who's watching this, because this is something that disturbs me too much. So imagine you're playing a game, a fantasy game, and you want to buy something. What would be the money you use to buy that thing? What would it be called generally?
I use gold, silver
Did you
on
hear it?
fantasy. I did. I use gold and silver generally. I don't really name
Yes.
it. Um,
Which is totally, totally, totally wrong.
okay, what do you
Like,
use?
you don't use gold. Like, you use gold, but gold is actually, especially in the early medieval ages. And by the way, if I'm wrong, please, like,
No, no, no,
anyone
no. Go
who
ahead,
knows the
Mushi.
right
Go
thing,
ahead.
please, like,
Go ahead.
correct me.
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
especially in the early ages, like, you don't use gold just to buy a candy, like you use a few golds to buy a horse, not a
Yeah.
candy or not a
Okay. All right.
piece of, like, you see where I'm going? Like, that is why I was like, man, I can't just use gold. I have to learn the basics of economy in medieval ages. And that's why I just took a few days just on that. And that is
Okay.
why it takes so much time for me to build my world because I go in details, realistic, and when I'm doing that, there's also a fantasy side, the magics, etc. And it makes it really hard to mix them together because
That's amazing.
the magic is not real, like the magic is not real. So you have to find a way to make it believable.
You are the first writer that I have seen go down the rabbit hole like me to make it factual.
So,
That is amazing.
sorry?
You're the first writer
Oh,
that I
thank you
have
very much.
that I've ever read that actually goes down the rabbit hole like me to make it as factual as absolutely possible. Even though we could do absolutely everything like everybody else, but you go down the middle like me and go ahead and do that. That my hat goes off to you. It takes a lot of talent and a lot of time and a lot of research that people aren't going to get. They're going to read the
Mhm.
sentence and they're going to move on. Um, Awesome. That is
Yeah,
so awesome. I love hearing that.
thank you very,
So, who's
thank
your
you very
favorite
much.
fantasy race? Would that be orcs? Because you seem to be big on the orc section.
No, actually, I don't like orcs at all. Uh, okay, I may
Okay.
draw a map for the
Uh huh.
orcs, but it
Okay.
doesn't mean that I like them.
Okay. All right.
Uh, so my favorite humans, yeah, I mean like humans,
Humans.
like yeah,
Really?
of course,
Okay.
uh, and actually I don't understand people going like elves, orcs, and you're a human. Come on, like.
I get it. All right. That's a new answer on the Chronicles as well.
And by the way, when I'm saying this, I'm not like saying this to offend anyone. I'm
Sure.
saying
Sure.
this because how I think is that, for example, I'm a human and he's an orc, let's say. And
Right.
in my world, if I would live in the world I'm building, I would like think all day, all night, like all my life to find something that would help me to get stronger, get faster, whatever it is, to close up the difference of power between the races. Because I am human, He's orc, so he's much more stronger than me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that being an orc is better, or it doesn't mean that in our real life I should like orcs more. I mean, you may like them because you like the culture of orcs, like those barbarian kind of creatures, like strong and just fighting and having blah 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 together. This is what generally they do. You
Hmm.
may like that, but if you like orcs just because they are strong, or if you like any race just because, for example, let's say elves. If you like elves just because they use bow really well, I it doesn't suit my um, ideology. I would like to find something that would make me as good as an elf in archery.
Right. That would be, yeah. I mean, that's a new take on role play games. I have rare to hear that answer. We have a lot of firsts on the Chronicles with the
Thank you.
Turk.
Thank you
We,
very
we
much.
we don't usually get this. Now, for anybody from the States that's watching this on rerun, the capital of Turkey is Istanbul.
No, it is Ankara.
Oh, what is the capital of Turkey?
It is called Ankara, and it's sort of like
Ankara.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, we are always
But
wrong on the Chronicles.
yeah, I'm like, there's a lot of things to like, you cannot learn everything, like
Right?
there's always going to be something that you don't know.
Right. And oh, so okay. Say it one more time.
Ankara.
Ankara. Okay.
Yes.
All I
Good
can work with.
pronunciation, by the way.
Oh,
You
all I
pronounce
can.
Turkish words quite nice.
Yeah, I don't speak Turkish, although I do know Assalamu alaikum, but that's about all I have.
Excellent.
That's about all I got. That's about all I got. That's the extent of my Arabic. So we usually do about a 40-minute section. So one more time
Mhm.
before we log off, where can everybody find you on your link in your bio? You're on Redbubble with some maps. Can they just DM you to talk about cartography and talk about some of the things that
Of
you do?
course, of course, of course. And
Okay,
actually, let me tell you one last thing.
absolutely.
I don't know if you have seen it, but and and again, I would like to thank everyone who joined that event. And we had an event called Mapping Together, and I am planning to announce a new one in a few days. But and I actually had a delay on that because this week I actually fought against COVID and won, and and
Oh
I
wow,
even yeah and I even have COVID at the moment,
wow,
and but I'm quite okay at the moment.
yeah,
Anyway, so thank you again. I really appreciate everyone joining that event. It was really wonderful, and we will have a new one in a few days. I will just announce that, and and just as you asked, like they can always ask me, write me, DM me, because that is also what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to reach them by these events, and I would like to see all the fantasy cartographers or normal cartographer, doesn't have to be just focusing on fantasy, to share something together. We have a thing in common, so it should mean something. Like like we may help each other, we may just share our ideas, we may just criticize our maps because it will take us to the next level.
absolutely. Uh, just so you know, your map creation through Hein Holtier out of Holland actually appeared his map that he did with mapping together. He
Hmm.
actually was on the Chronicles with that, showcasing his map from mapping
Yes.
together. So you have actually reached Holland with mapping together on the Chronicles. This is how small the world is. On the Chronicles, and the creator of Mapping Together is on the Chronicles a week later. What?
Yes.
Ooh wee! That's what we're doing. We're going international on the ooh wee. Yeah. So give me a Turkish ooh wee.
Ooh-wee!
Ooh wee! So look. I really enjoyed this interview, Musha. I
Me
really
too.
did, and I think you had a great message and a great time. And just remember, stay in touch with me, and we'll make sure that everybody
Will
gets
do.
connected. And I really
So,
appreciate you coming on the show. So I'm
and
gonna log off.
okay, and I actually thank you very much for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. I'm happy to have you. That's so the first Turk in the history of the Chronicles is Mushit, and I really agree. I really appreciate and give a shout out to Kushit because he's the one that's going up to Everest with you, and I hope he's watching this
By the
video.
way,
When
Kushat has joined. I can see it there.
so excellent. So I'm glad we all had a chance to sit down. I appreciate you staying up later than usual, especially with powerful thing to a lot of people. So I'm happy to see you're on the other side of that. And hope if not. So thank you so much, Mushit, and stay in touch with me on Instagram.
Yes, absolutely. See you.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, we're logging off from the Ooowee Chronicles. And for here we had Mushit, and I would love to pronounce his last name. I'm not going to butcher it. So if you love cartography, if you know, I'm a fantasy writer as well. So I love having people on and everybody hook up, intermingle, start your own show talking about cartography, whatever you can do to get the word out there for everybody that is out there in the world that just needs a little bit of light. That's what this show is all about. And it started off as writers. It branched off into some celebrities, and it branched off into some fashion, and it branched off into different countries pretty much overnight. Just kind of went that way. So anything's possible. So if you love the show and you love watching people talk about their favorite thing, be that writing to map making to fashion to food, you go on my IGTV, and all of my past interviews are on there. Once again, this is brought to you by Mobilo Business Card. The link is in my bio, and you can go get yourself one of those. It's here in the States, but they ship internationally, and it just takes away the chance of touching anything that could perhaps be potentially deadly to you. So please go out on the link in my bio tree. All my books are on there. All of my different things are on there. So if you love being watching the show today, feel free to tune in. We do pop-ups at least once a week, and I really appreciate everybody coming out. And if you get a chance, just tell yourself in the mirror, "Oh, wait, it feels so good."